Hey everyone, and welcome back to our Azure Stack HCI FAQ. Today, I want to answer a question that came up in one of my calls this week, or in the third week of May, if you're watching that video later. And I answered already to the customer, but I just want to share the opinion with you. And the question was, do we lose support if we're using a third-party antivirus solution like Trend Micro, Kaspersky, who's not bad, and the others, and not using Defender? Um, the answer is you will not lose support, but again, with all third parties, your vendor needs to support HCI. So if you're encountering a support issue and it's based on the third party solution, it's here with the antivirus application, the third party needs to be engaged to add the additional support and give the additional support. Another part of my answer to that customer was, we would highly recommend to use Defender, because there are several reasons. The first reason, I just need to look on my notes here what I answered so that you're getting the same answer like my customer. When you're using third parties, as the third parties are not running like Defender in kernel mode, so implemented in the operating system, but they're running as an application installed on top of the operating system level, they need to have certain exceptions in the file system, in memory control, in CPU control, real life protection exceptions, etc., to accept running on HCI or also on Hyper-V or maybe VMware. It's the same for every hypervisor, because in regular configured mode, they would think of virtual machines running against memory, running against the hypervisor, that there is a third party, there is an antivirus intrusion or a virus intrusion running against the operating system. So you need to have exceptions in place. Those exceptions are not required for Defender because it's already in the kernel. It already knows, okay, I'm running now in hypervisor mode. I'm running in the management OS. So I need to behave different. So no exceptions required here. It just behaves different. These exceptions you need to configure for the other operating systems, or for the other third-party solutions running in the operating system, are often opening different loopholes, different vulnerabilities for attackers. So these attackers now know, okay, it's maybe running, it's maybe a hypervisor. It's maybe Hyper-V or HCI. It's running Trend Micro, so Trend Micro needs to have these file system exceptions. So let's try to infuse our code or our backdoor within these exceptions. And there are attack vectors which are directly going through those exceptions. And it cannot be fixed basically because it's an application. Developers make mistakes. It's the same for Microsoft developers. Sometimes they make mistakes, but as I said, with running third parties on top of the already encapsulated environment, you're just opening doors for potential attacks. It has also an implication of your overall stability. If there's an exception not set, or an exception changes due to an update or an operating system upgrade, so from 22 H2 to 23 H2 in November this year, and your vendor is not aware of that or is, let's say, behind development, you can either not install the updates or do the upgrades, or, which is required at some point with HCI, you're doing everything, you do the updates, you do your upgrades, and your vendor is not ready. It could break your system. So it could just bring down your system and reduce the overall stability of your system if you're missing any exceptions, or if it's not built already for your operating system or for your operating system version of HCI. And also think again of another thing I already said. It's running as an application on top of your workloads of your management OS. So it grabs a certain amount of your operating system resources, memory and CPU, much more than Defender would grab because it's part of the operating system. It's already calculated within the amount of overhead for the operating system because we expect running Defender. So it will always be there. It will run, the services will run, the kernel mode will run, etc. So it will be there from a performance meter perspective. And now you add another application, and that will certainly grab more resources and have a performance impact on your operating system, depending on the solution, depending on how you scan, how you work with those antivirus solutions. So that's basically it. Summarized, yes, you could use third-party antivirus solution on HCI, but they need to be supported by the vendor itself. It could be the case that if you're facing an issue and the antivirus solution is the reason for that, Microsoft support says, okay, talk to your vendor. That could expand your downtimes much more. And it has a negative impact on your performance, on your overall security and stability when not using Defenders. That's our experience. It's my personal experience. So it's highly recommended to use Defender. Also because it's already integrated in the security suite you're getting from Azure if you maybe already use it. So it's integrated in Defender is integrated in Sentinel. It's integrated in Azure Security. It has already these patterns, these baselines for HCI, for Hyper-V in place. So there is no need to do it. And it always gets improved with the learnings from Microsoft, from security teams, from our own platform, from Azure, etc. So as I said, it's highly recommended. You there's you can use third parties, no worries. There will be there are also good solutions out there, but as I said, Microsoft recommends to use Defender for the reason I already said. I will also add for my German-speaking community, I will also add a link from a great community out there who explains a bit the situation with antivirus solution in operating systems in general, and I will also link the security considerations for HCI in the description section of that FAQ. So if you have any additional questions, drop them in the comments. I will try to answer and come back to you, or Bernhard, or someone else from the team. And also leave us a like, leave us a subscription if you don't already have. There will be more topics coming, and also I've just waited for build and the availability of some colleagues to talk about a few more things which were under NDA at the time capturing those videos. So have a great one, guys, and yep, see you in the next one. Bye.